Fear can show up in your life in many ways. It can be you being silent in a moment. It could be you running or even frozen in time. Some people lose the dexterity and integrity of their bowel system. It can come in so many ways, but what we miss sometimes that is truly fear is not knowing what to do. It's a lack of purpose in that moment. That's another form of fear. What does that look like? That looks like recently there was a car accident near my home and a woman hit a gentleman on a motorcycle and he flew up and hit the ground. And I stood there, paralyzed almost. I just didn't know what my purpose was in that moment. What is it for me to do here in this time? How do I help? How do I lend myself? What is my role right now to make this go in a better light or to turn the events in the way that they should be going? And so I regained, the sensibility of thought, a sound mind. I regained a sound thinking process, and I got my phone and I called 911. I followed that up with going over to the scene to see what it is I could do to lend myself. Was the man alive? Is there an injury? Can we protect him from another vehicle hitting him? Then it all started to come into play. But initially, I was so frightened by what had happened to him and the consequences of what was next for him, that I was paralyzed and I didn't have a role to be had. I didn't have a purpose, but I did have a purpose. I just had to regain a sound mind. And that passage of scripture that reads that the Lord hasn't given us a spirit of fear, but has given us power, love, and a sound mind. That is that knowing of purpose. That is that knowing what it is I'm here to do, what I'm here for. And I want to appeal to you. Now, that can even show up in your overall life, in the grand scheme of how things will go, where they're headed, and how they end. If you don't understand your purpose, if you don't know and have a firmness in who it is that you are to be, you will have a lack of planning. You will have a lack of knowledge. You will compromise and go along with anything because you lack the firmness of purpose, the soundness of mind. How do you gain that? You read your word, you pray, you study. You ask God to reveal who it is that you are. Take notes. Note what you don't like, what you do like. Treat it like it's a great mystery that you would want to solve and find out exactly, solidified, totally accomplished what your purpose is. I know there were some words there that I used that didn't quite apply, but you know what I'm saying. You feel what I'm meaning. You need it to owe it to yourself to leave that fear and have a sound mind, a firmness of purpose. That way you won't let fear grow and beat you to where you're going. You won't let fear clothesline you and trip you up before you get to the next move. You won't let fear stop you, apprehend you, or hinder you, because you will know with a firmness of thought, your firmness of purpose, a firmness and sound mind, and you will be able to start putting things into play. And now you'll be able to make decisions based on the firmness of purpose, knowing who you are, knowing where you're going, knowing what it is that you are supposed to be doing. And you will get there because you are no longer cowardice. You no longer have fear, but you have a sound mind. You have an agenda, a plan for the purpose of who you are. You will be firm, knowing what it is you're supposed to be doing and not doing, and getting it done. And then you will live a courageous life. Then you will live a life outside of fear, inside of purpose. Then you will live a life that you were intended to live, and you too will be fulfilled.